didn't click that. Okay, there we go.
There we go.
We are live, guys, today with Right on the Spot. We got Hannah. She's going to do the challenge live today. So, yeah, Hannah, go ahead. Just introduce yourself for those who don't know who you are.
Awesome. Hi, everybody. My name is Hannah Grace Fletcher. I am a writer, obviously. I'm HGF Writes on YouTube. I'm currently working on revising draft 2 of my YA religious fantasy / sci-fi novel, Project AOS or Ace of Spades. It's kind of like a trio of characters, journey book kind of story. It goes through like the complexities of grief and found family and friendship and kind of being yourself and not conforming to like other people's idea of who you should be. So yeah, that is the book.
Yep, love to hear it. So what got you started with writing, and when did you decide, hey, this is something that I need to be doing?
That's a very, very interesting question because writing was completely off of my radar. I started out university as an engineering student. I'd wanted to be in science my whole life. And it was always what I thought I wanted to do, what I was supposed to do, kind of like what I needed to do to be considered like smart or intelligent. Mm-hmm. And over time, I started to realize that maybe these aren't my strengths. Maybe I'm not very good at these kind of things because I've always been more of a creative leaning person. The very first kind of stigments of things, I don't even know what that word is. The very first like things that I've written are like songwriting. So I started out in songwriting, and obviously I wrote like a few little short stories when I was little, but nothing that I would ever consider like, oh, I wanted to be a writer since I was young kind of story when I was little. So it's kind of been all over the place. And then my friend passed away. That's kind of a complete twist. My friend passed away, and I was having a really hard time dealing with the aftermath of that and the effects that it kind of had on me and my perception of myself and like my friendship with that person, especially losing someone the way that I lost him. And because of that, I decided that I wanted to write my very first book. And that is not the book that I'm working on now, but it kind of sparked this need for me to make something that would be in the world, that I could put into the world, that would last, something that could possibly change people's lives, something that could make people feel less alone, make people feel at home, and never feel the way that my friend did. And so, yeah, that's kind of my story to writing. I am currently an English student, so I ended up completely switching over when I couldn't stop writing completely. Like I was in engineering school and doing nothing that I should have been. All I wanted to do was look at the document and write for hours on end. And then I decided that if I was going to pursue any dream, that it was going to be this one. And I decided to be a writer. So, yeah. Very long-winded, but yeah.
No, so great answer, and not long-winded. It was just right. And I like what you said when you said feel at home, not feel like they're alone.
Yeah.
That's like one of my main reasons as well while I started, because when nothing else was there for me, it was writing and reading. Yeah. So I could definitely understand that standpoint. What does your family think about it?
So like I said, it was off of my radar, so obviously it was off of their radar. Right. So it was a complete 180. They weren't completely on board at first, obviously, because getting an English degree obviously isn't as, from an outside perspective, successful as an engineering degree might be, or something that's more like hands-on or like a hard skill. But I think that over time they've become like really, really supportive. My mom, I've had her read my stuff. Like one day I was completely out. I was like, this is terrible. I'm so bad at this. No one's read this. I don't know what to do. And then she was like, I'll read it for you. And she read it for me. And like, she is the most like, she's not as creatively oriented, I would say. She's more kind of numbers, like how things look. So she's a copy editor through and through. She will go through and like mark things, and she returned my book to me like with markings throughout the whole thing. And I was like, "Thank you so much, Mom. You're the best. Thank you." So
Yeah.
my family is so sweet, and I'm married as well. So my husband has been like extremely supportive throughout this whole thing. He's always just wanted me to like find something that I'm passionate about and to follow that dream. So like I wouldn't be doing this without him supporting me and having a steady job so I can do this kind of thing. So yeah, very, very grateful to everyone in my family.
Yes, that's very important to have people who support you, especially when you're doing something that's it's completely off of everyone's radar, like you
Like,
said.
are you
Uh,
okay? Are you okay? Are
right?
you
Like
okay? Like,
how
just
did
go get
we
a haircut.
how did we get from this point to this point? Like you how did you go from this to this? But no, yeah. Um, okay. So I mean, what is yeah, I know you said that you wrote like nothing that when you were younger, nothing that made you like be like, "Oh, I want to be a writer. I have to be a writer." But
Yeah.
do you remember like the very first complete book or story that you ever wrote? Like we
Yes, I
want to know what was it? What was it about?
So I don't have it here with me, like, in
Mhm.
my other office where I back where I go to school, I have it, but I
Okay.
have, like, the little my little writing in the little notebook pages of the story, and it was called The Adventures of Emerald Green, and it's literally completely misspelled, and her name is Emerald Green, like, that's basically just green, green, but
Right.
and she, like, goes on these adventures, and it's basically she's, like, outside, and she's bored, and she's, like, riding on her bike, and she's like, "I just wanna go on an adventure," and then she, like, hears this voice in the trees. I don't know what's going on there, but
Okay.
then after that point, she basically goes on the adventure, but I never actually wrote the adventure. I just said that she was going on the adventure, and then I drew another cover page that said, like, "Emerald Green goes to space," because 'cause I've always loved, like, space and science and stuff,
Okay.
and that is, like, the very, very first thing that I've ever done writing-wise,
Okay.
I'd say.
So green went to the in the
Emerald
trees.
green. Yeah,
Emerald
that's
green.
how it does. That's how it happens.
Okay. No, that's I mean, okay. I mean, what I know my first story was complete trash. And you know what I'm saying? We all start somewhere. But
Exactly.
I wish I could just have like a series of people reading their very, very first books or stories
That would
from
be
when they
so
were
sweet.
kids.
That would
It
literally
would,
be so sweet.
wouldn't it be? I mean, seriously.
And it's, like,
Um,
where they came from and, like, where they are now.
yes, exactly. And I told Dana because she said she still has a book a story that she wrote when she was younger. And I was telling her she should read it to everybody and then she should like rewrite it and see how the difference would be.
That's actually, like, such a good video idea.
Right. I
Like,
know.
or just in general idea.
Look,
Not the
all to
content
the dope.
creator in me.
All right. So is it how do I put this? Is it hard, do you think, nowadays to pursue writing as like a career? Um, and I mean, is it something that you want to do like 100% full time, like publish author?
Okay. Um, so 2 questions. Do you think it's hard do I think it's hard to be a writer today? And then, is that something I see for me in the future?
Yes.
Perfect,
Hmm.
perfect. Um, I I think it's actually more difficult, and I think that's because we live in a society. We live in a world where your options as a career aren't as nuanced, I feel, as they used to be. And obviously it depends on the person. Like if we go back to, I don't know, like 100 years ago, it was very easy, I'd say, for like a white man to be a writer because you would just they just go out and there's almost this romanticism to it. Like you just go out and you write and it's like the starving artist idea. Like you're just living off of whatever you have and writing as much as you can and just like having the romantic idea of it. But Sorry, that's my husband.
Bless you.
So
When you
like
sneeze, bless him.
but now careers are a lot more like set in stone. Like you would go to college, you were going to do that for the rest of your life. Obviously, people can branch off and do different things, but I feel like it's not as talked about, as not as heard of. It seems like when you're going to school that there's a lot of pressure that that is what you are going to do forever.
Mm.
So I think it's a lot more difficult to get into writing. But with self-publishing, I think that that has made it a lot easier to, once you get into writing, to actually become an author and to,
Mm.
like, be able to make that a part of your life and to make a living off that. So, like, the actual act of getting into writing and being brave enough to take that step is more difficult, but being an author is easier, which is really, really good. So, yeah. Oh, wait, other question, would I do it? Okay. Um, I think that I would love to be a full-time author, and it's something that I see for myself, but it would definitely be something many years on down the line. It takes a lot to have the support to be able to live the life of a full-time author,
Mm-hmm.
and not everybody is, like, in the right situation to be able to do that. And in addition to that, there's only so much creative energy that a person can, like, have in them to give to something every day. Like, I know that even full-time authors, they may only write, like, I don't know, 4 hours, 5 hours a day, I feel like, from what I've seen of their routines. Hey.
Sorry.
And so and so I don't know what I was talking about. I love you.
I love you too.
Wait, what was I saying? And so
Mm-hmm.
I actually forgot. What was I actually saying?
Well, you were talking about the difference. Today we were talking about how it's easier to be an actual author.
Yes,
Um,
you only have so much creative energy to give, basically.
mhm,
And so that makes it hard to be a full-time author because I feel like a lot of the day you're going to be doing other things that aren't just being an author to kind of support that dream.
mhm,
So eventually, maybe, but at the same time, I really love editing. I've always wanted to be a book editor in some way, shape, or form. So I don't think I'd ever completely be full-time because I love editing as much as I do. So
mhm.
yeah, that's the answer.
Okay, I mean
I'm
that's
sorry
a
I'm
good.
giving the longest answers in the world. I'm a yapper. I
But these
talk
are
my
good answers. These are good answers still. Okay. So I mean, with that being said, what advice? No, we're not there yet. This is the last one. But this is the last one. What advice do you have for aspiring writers?
See, this is the hardest one because there's so many different things.
Mm,
Um, I would say to not be afraid to take the time to pursue your passion. It can be very terrifying, and also there are a lot of factors that can make it seem like maybe you're not good enough to pursue that, or maybe you don't have enough time to pursue that, or maybe it's just too far-fetched of an idea for you to accomplish. And I think that as writers, it takes a lot of bravery, it takes a lot of delusion in some ways. It takes a lot of strength to pursue something like this. And I think as advice, I just to not be afraid of any of that and to just be able to push yourself to make the choice to follow this dream. And then also on top of that, in order to help you do that, to find community around you of other people that are going to lift you up and push you forward and make you feel like this is something you can do because you can. So yeah.
mhm. Okay. All right. And that's some good advice. But now I think now is a good time that we're gonna go ahead and jump into the challenge.
Oh
Oh my,
no, oh no.
yeah. How do you feel?
I feel very good. I feel very nervous, but I'm excited. Like over all of that, I'm just excited. I want to know what the prompt is.
Hmm. Okay, well, we're about to know what the prompt is.
No.
So you know what? Why don't we get it up and rolling? Hold on, let's see what do we got. I'm gonna switch us over here. Boop. And then we're gonna get our wheel. And here it is. Boom.
Okay.
There it is. All right. Do you need to take a what do you need? You need to do something first? You need to shake off the yes, there you go.
I'm ready.
Now, here we go. Be a good one.
Stop.
Oh, okay. This is actually pretty good right here. All
That
right.
is a really good one, but
That's
it's
good.
cracking me up.
It's cracking her up. And you know what? I'm going to read it, even though y'all can read. We're going to read it, guys. It says, phobia. Write a scene or story that includes a character who has a phobia. What do they fear? And how does this phobia affect their life?
I love it. I love it.
We love it, guys. We love it, guys. And hey, everyone that has popped in, she is brave, guys. She is about to do this on the spot, okay? She's going to have 5 minutes to brainstorm. Don't you turn your brain on yet. You wait a second. Let me get this 5
Pause.
minutes.
Oh wait,
Let me,
should I share my screen for the
You can.
brainstorming? Let's see.
Yes. Do you need to you remember what this says? This is good. You know what this says? You want to write it down, take a picture?
I'm gonna write it down
Okay.
real quick.
Yeah, write it down. Yes, girl.
Right. See the story that includes character. You guys are gonna see in real time how many like spelling errors I make and how many keys I mishit.
Right. That's the beauty of it. Hey Ian, yes, it's live. It's extra live out here today. That's why I said Hannah is brave. She's gonna do this really on the spot. Well, you know what? You can come back and see what she got right after. She said she was nervous for people to look anyway.
Oh my gosh. Okay. It's hard to type when your hands are shaking. Fun
Ian
fact.
says,
Okay, I am ready.
chlorophobia.
What is that?
He's giving
I'm
you some
looking that up.
ideas. Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Fear of the color green.
Oh,
That's. I
I'm
could see
dead.
you coming up with a great story with that one, Ian. I can see it. I think you could. I see the potential so much. Like that. That would. I feel like that would. I feel like that would go well with your writing.
Fear of yeah. Fear of clowns. That's a good one too.
That is a good one.
Now look at her. Look at her, guys. Look at her trying to sit here and procrastinate so she can think some things.
I'm
Okay.
ready.
All right, let me remove this off of here.
I am no
Boom.
longer looking at the comments. You guys
Nope.
can't help me.
You can't. This is all her. There we go. All right, oh wait, I'm dead. I don't even have the timer on yet. All right, we can't have both. So I'm just going to tell you when your 5 minutes are up. But we are going to start it in 5. Is that? Oh, you're doing that. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And your brainstorming starts now. Let's go.
I'm like low-key trying to click.
Yes, it's very live. Very live.
Let's go.
We got 1 minute and 50 on the clock. All right, we're on the last 20 seconds. I feel you need 20 seconds worth of anything else?
I think I'm good. I'm just trying to stop my hands from shaking so I can type faster.
What are they shaking for? Look at you got a good start. Look at this. Finn
I'm
is
sorry.
lost. We're about to find out what happens to Finn, guys. Oh, 6, 5.
Rotating pike and jump. Well,
2, 1. Well, that's too bad. You need to put your fingers up right this instant. All right. Look at that. The time is up. Couple more people. We got Araya. She said, "You got this, Hannah." Okay.
Thank you.
Got Donnie came in. Right. We got all of our people. Look.
Hello, everybody.
Hey,
Yes,
guys.
I love moths, if you can't tell.
I love moths too. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I'm saying? The night butterfly.
Yes, yes.
Love it. Love this whole thing. All right. Now look at y'all. You're trying to get me off topic again so you can have some more time to think. Now let's get now we're going to so obviously, you know what I'm saying, you're about to start writing. Do you need to take a sip of your brisk and your water? And do you need to use the potty? Anything. This is the time to shine.
Not sponsored.
Non-sponsored. And neither is this regular Food Lion water neither.
Cheers to Food Line.
Cheers. All right.
Okay, I'm ready.
Get it all out. Get it all out. I'm nervous for you. Okay, let's see. All right.
I'm ready.
I'm ready too. Look, I'm ready too, but I haven't started the timer yet. There we go. Boom. I've started it. Get them fingers. Go. Hit.
This thing needs to... Okay, I'm adjusting all of my things everywhere. Okay, perfect.
Oh, let me move us. Wait. Okay. Oh. What's better? Which one is better? Let me see. Why are we in? Oh, not the comment up there. Okay. That is a good idea, Raya.
like where that is. Okay. I'm literally in the middle of writing. I have 20 minutes. What do you need? Okay, I'm dead. Yes? My mic's also on.
Huh?
Are you okay?
You said what?
My mic's also on, and I'm in the middle of Right with the Spot. I have 20 minutes. I'm running out of time.
Actually, you got 13 now.
I love you. But could you go? Please?
If I must.
Please?
My bad game.
It's good, please. I have to finish the scene.
No.
No? Where was I?
disappear. All right. I mean, how are we feeling?
We're feeling good. I don't know what this is, but it's something.
No, it's very, very good. Very, very good. Let me get you. Okay, let me. And just say that. No, no, if you didn't want to answer, just say that, okay? No,
Oh, what did you say? I
no,
don't know what
just
happened.
I
don't
don't
know.
either. You
I think you're
disappeared.
still with me now.
We're back, guys. Something happened. And look, there's a third one of you right here. Let's remove that, guys. Let's remove that.
Yeah, that's my ghostwriter. Ignore
is
them.
Right. Okay, we're back. You know what I'm saying? Hannah just tried to delete the live stream and take us off a live stream so she didn't have to read her passage. But we are back. All right. Now, what was I said, do you feel like it was harder to like get the words out in 20 minutes, or do you think somehow it was easier, like they was flowing out because you didn't have a lot of time?
I think it was actually easier. And this is something like I've kind of figured out with my writing. I do a lot better in shorter things cuz like it's not as daunting to say I'm going to write for 15 minutes versus I'm going to write for 2 hours. So
Right.
I enjoyed it. It was still nerve-wracking nonetheless, but I think it was very fun. So
It was fun watching, and matter of fact, we need to get that document right back up here because now you're gonna read it to us like we in story time. You know,
I'm so ready.
me too.
Let's see. Share screen.
Share screen.
Okay. Can you see that?
Yep, there we go.
Perfect. Okay. It's titled Lost. Last minute. Finn was lost. He was sure of it. He'd passed the same shrunken walnut tree 4 times, and the light was only sinking further and further behind the tree line. His mother had told him camping was supposed to be fun, but if he'd had any fragment of a choice, he'd be playing Minecraft on his PlayStation 4 right about now. Instead, he was traversing through the Smoky Mountains, just hoping that the next thing he ran into wasn't some sort of wild animal. He'd never been the most adventurous person. He'd fallen behind the rest of their hiking group, just barely able to swallow a breath as the rest of the kids flew ahead with their camp counselor, eager to see the view from the top of the mountain. Yes, that's right. They were climbing a mountain. Just not some hill. A mountain. And just when things couldn't get any worse, he tripped over a loose tree root, catching himself mere inches above the ground. Mere inches above the most gigantic hawk moth he'd ever seen in his entire life. He stilled, hands already shaking from the exhaustion as the seconds seemed to morph and blend into one another. That's one thing his mother had so kindly ignored before sending him on this trip. He was afraid of moths. It took everything in him to pull himself back up, his feet kicking at the ground just like the tires of a pickup in thick mud. He took a deep breath in, reminding himself that it was just a stupid bug, it couldn't hurt him. It was basically just a butterfly. Just a butterfly. But as if the thought had triggered some long-forgotten predatory nature in the creature, it lifted its wings, flying straight towards him, and latched onto the side of his cheek. Ah! He yelled, scratching his finger back and forth across his face as he wiggled across the ground. Stop, drop, and roll. Wait, that wasn't right. It was a moth, damn it. But no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get the thing to remove its claws from his face. He continued to stumble further into the woods, further from finding his way back home. At last, he managed to remove the moth from his face, holding it in both hands. He could do it right now, it was that easy. But one look into the creature's eyes showed him otherwise. It seemed to pout at him, tugging on the emotions in the deepest core of his heart. Fine. He'd let it go. But even when he did, it refused to move. It seemed to fly forward before winding its way back like a yo-yo, urging him to follow. I mean, he said, practically running out of options at this point. What do I have to lose? The moth guided him through the forest like a small light in the darkness. The night creatures had begun to come out, howling and clawing through the forest, bugs biting at the edges of his ankles, practically eating him alive. But just when he was about to lose all hope, the trees broke, and he was welcomed by the warm, crackling fire and the laughter of his fellow campers. The moth had led him back to the campsite. Maybe, just maybe, they weren't so bad after all.
I mean, I felt like I was listening to like a Goosebumps story for a second there. You know? That's really, that's the kind of vibe I got. Like I was just listening to Goosebumps. That was good. And you were worried about it.
Fun.
That was fun. And Finn, you was right, Finn, because stop, drop, and roll. I would have stopped, drop, and roll right on top of his ass and squished that moth. But no, I mean, really, who agreed? Did that feel like you were listening to like a Goosebumps type of vibe story? Look, we got some. Look, you slayed. You did awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Well, that was before, but you did awesome. Some clapping. We got the whoop. Wow. Look at these praises, right?
Oh, thank you, guys. That's so sweet.
And you were nervous.
Yes. My hands were shaking the whole time, but I was having fun, so...
It was good. And what did you name it? What did you name that?
I named it Lost because I had 5 seconds and I was like, I don't know what to do.
Right. I mean, he was lost. So, and wait, was that like, what would you have like went more into it if you had more time, you think, or you think that was good?
I think that I would have kept it the same like storyline. I would have started it there and ended it there, like with him finding the other campers, unless I decided to like make it a long form work and like more things, because I know chapters can be like small lessons. But I would change, like, how do I describe this? I would change how he like got the moth off of him. I feel like after that point he wasn't really afraid anymore. So I feel like I would kind of change it to where like he somehow threw it off of him and he's still like actively scared, and then like the moth guides him back, because like I feel like that he got over it way too fast, so I feel like I would change that.
Yeah, like live in that moment for a little bit longer, just because it was like
stay in the fear.
Yeah, because it was right at that big moment right there.
Yes.
But I mean, still, we still felt the vibes. You know what I'm saying? 20 minutes with what you had, did good. That was good.
Thank you.
We're just gonna be honest with you. Yeah, the storytelling voice too. I think that's what added the extra flair in there. That's why I like getting y'all to read it, because you, without just reading it yourself, you can really get what you were going for when you have the writer read it themselves. I just love that so much.
I love listening to people read. I love hearing how they like tell the story. So
I felt like I was in school for a second, sitting on the rug. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and if anyone missed it, we did ask Hannah some questions at the beginning. She did a little interview before she did her writing challenge. But yeah, I mean, guys, really, she did excellent. And how many words was that? Because that was a lot.
Let me see. Should I include the title? It's literally one word. Let's do that. Okay.
Yeah, it's one.
556.
556.
That's better than I normally do. So
maybe you need to start giving yourself 20 minutes every time.
Yeah. Just need to get out of editing.
And look, why are you so red for? Why are you so?
I know.
So scared.
It's my flaw.
You need to stop, because that was good. You did good. You didn't blow it and look crazy or nothing.
Man, that would have been bad. Everyone's like, okay, everything you've ever said, I don't believe it anymore.
All right. And you know what? And at first, you did exactly what we all do. You know what I'm saying? You start writing, delete stuff, and then you just find that first sentence and it's over.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's how it works. So,
all you need is sentence number 1.
Sentence number 1, exactly. So yeah, I mean, I'm glad you came and you did this live, especially for this episode. Because nobody's done it live yet, and I think this might turn into a new thing. I don't know. I kind of like it.
I love it.
Yeah, I like it live. What do you guys think? Do y'all like it live or what? Let me know.
Right on the spot, live.
Live. Now we need to get Hannah a trophy or something. A little a writing trophy. Okay, I was given certificate on my. I put some certificates up. But you need a trophy. Extra props.
Oh.
Yes, girl. Extra props.
Thank you.
Yep. Trophy. Look, we're about to get you a trophy. It's gonna say right on the spot. That's what it's gonna say. Maybe something.
This was so fun, though. This was so fun.
Yes, I know your husband. You know what I'm saying. He's trying to talk to you. I don't know. I mean, he was trying to come in and
he'd be in a goofball.
Right. So actually you had a little bit less time because
I'm like, bro, I'm trying to write. I love you, but like I'm busy.
That's what we mean right there when you need to set your boundaries for writing. And that's what we mean right there. My husband does it too, so but yeah, so this was fun. I mean, I will be doing some writing sprints coming up this probably tonight, late tonight. I think I'm gonna do a 12 a.m. writing sprint, guys, tonight. And Hannah, where can we find you at? When are your next live sprints? Anything like that? Let us know.
I don't have any live set in stone right now, but there will be more. You can find me on @HGFWrites on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, but I don't really post on TikTok as much anymore. It takes a lot to do both short and long form content. But yeah, that's where you can find me. So yeah.
Okay. And you are tagged in this as well, so y'all go check her out. So yeah, anybody else who's brave, I mean, come on, the slots is open. Anybody else who is brave, come on the show. Come right on the spot.
Come on, just you can do it.
Right, you can. You can do it.
And honestly, it's a confidence boost because like you don't think you can do it and then you go in and then whatever you get, it's like it's something. You did it. So like
yeah.
There's no loss.
Exactly. There is no loss when it comes to writing. Let me just say that. Okay, you could have came up here and wrote a 1-sentence story, and I'd have been fine with that.
I'd be like, it's just a poem. It's how I felt.
Right. I've read some spooky 1-sentence stories now. Don't make me look up a couple and let me start reading those off. And Ian said,
"Thank you, Ian."
Thanks, Ian. Got me stuttering up here on live. Look at that. Thanks. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. We'll be back with some more, but guys, I guess we're just gonna go ahead and cut it off before we get cut off. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all next time. Right?
Bye.